Congratulations on the show, ladies. It's so good. I blitzed it in literally like less than a day. It's just brilliant. So good. Tell me about you guys working with Gary. He's an absolute titan of British cinema, but in this, he's not the Gary Oldman in many respects that many people would be expecting. Tell me about working with him on this show and working with him in general.
I mean, I was terrified, just because you psych yourself up, and I hadn't worked for a year because of everything that's going on, and I was so incredibly nervous, but that dissipated over the course of an hour because he's just such a gem and so welcoming, and treats the actors and the crew like a theatre company, and it just felt so warm and enveloping. And then you see him in his costume, and you want to say to Gary Oldman, like, "Oh, there's a hole in your sock," and they're like, "Oh no, it's the character."
Oh dear, they've really messed up in costume.
Oh no. Don't tell him.
No, I couldn't wait to work with him. I've obviously known of Gary my whole career, and I admired him as a young actor myself. Watching him on stage, I saw him on so many theatre productions. I couldn't wait. And had a lot of fun, and the relationship between my character and his character is so great anyway.
There's this wonderful kind of interplay between you guys in Slough House in this tiny little rundown, or these tiny rooms and these really weird corridors. Tell me about the dynamic of you guys together, because there's a real kind of ensemble feel, but you all feel like friends, and you all have your little kind of relationships in between that. That must have been so much fun to be part of that ensemble.
It was, and I think the fact that we shot it during the pandemic, personally, I was raring to go. I couldn't wait to get working again, and we had the luxury of having a small bit of rehearsal before we kicked off, and all of us, I think, were just so excited by it and a bit giddy about being with actors and on set all day and doing our bits and being around London,
and these and these are the people that you're allowed to see when you couldn't see anyone else, and so in a way you do cement these bonds because you need it as humans, and I think that really, in a way, is really helpful to what you see on screen, because some of us only have a couple of scenes together, but having spent that time with each other, it feels like you've known each other for years.
I think it's also a mark of how strong the scripts are, because it's so woven into the dialogue and the storylines and everything, all the counterpoints and all the opposites and the extremes, and that it works really well. And the scene is always moving something on. It always felt quite good, exciting to do.
And you guys, as your characters, you have great kind of, we know a little bit of your backstories, but we don't know the whole truth. I think is really cool. What was the draw for you two playing these two characters? Because there's a lot going on, but we don't necessarily see all of it immediately.
Well, I mean, speaking for Sid, she's an incredibly smart, capable woman who finds herself in Slough House because of under a specific guise, and then having to navigate these relationships and not come across as too intelligent to undermine anyone else, to try and balance egos, to use humour to deflect from her own background, and also to try and get in there and just create this relationship with River that feels at once that she's taken orders to do that, and then realizes that, oh God, these feelings and this relationship actually goes deeper than what is work related and what's not.
And I don't know if you've seen all the episodes, but if you have, then hopefully you can agree with this. I think Gary has probably the funniest moment of 2022 on TV in March. I don't know if you know the scene that I'm talking about. There's a scene towards the end when he arrives at Regent's Park and he's in a car. And
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the moment. I mean, I can't see anything topping that as like the funniest TV moment of 2022. Have you seen? I mean, it's Gary Oldman. It's so shocking to see. Not shocking, that's the wrong word, but to see Gary Oldman doing something so hilarious. Have you seen? Do you think it will be a memorable scene for audiences?
Yeah, I have seen that.
Which scene is it?
I'll tell you after.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
Yeah.
I do, and it's also like it's a treat for audiences to see Gary playing this kind of character, because it is so shocking, like you said. But God, he just embodies every cell of it.
Yeah. Meme status for Gary Oldman, I think. Ladies, thanks so much for your time. Real pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!